Oh. Really?
It is live. Hey guys, hi, welcome back to NXTT live announcement, weekly live announcement on Thursday. And it's so good to be back, finally. I was missing you guys all so much.
I even put my shirt back on.
I'm a father of two now, so it was worse that 2 weeks. And I know that the hard times are only beginning right now. But my son Andrew is healthy and everything is totally fine with the family. But, staying out for 2 weeks of crypto, oh my god, it was half a year. Yeah, so I missed everybody so much and I missed the whole hype so much that... we kind of deep dive right into the middle of it. Yeah. And finally we are here. So let's jump into the reveal topic.
Let's jump right into the reveal.
Okay, so I've seen some community members unrevealing today's reveal about the Meta Players GG strategic partnership. But no, that's not the reveal.
That's just
business as usual.
Sorry, guys.
And obviously the guys had their opening yesterday, but opening event yesterday. It was amazing. The guys are very good and huge potential in that partnership. But we will be only talking about details regarding that partnership later on when we can say more precise things. But obviously we had to go ahead with the thing, but that's not what we are going to talk about today. Today we are going to be uncovering the structure of our future operations and strategy as a platform as a service. And for that, we are going to ask Tungi, to our guy behind the scene, to put on a slideshow, because many of you asked us to kind of give some more visible material so you can follow the whole thing. So let's jump right into the middle of it. There is one sentence, one main sentence. NXTT's number one goal is to maximize the number of service providers on the platform. This is the sentence. We've been talking about a lot about what NXTT is, what the metaverse is, how things are going to be developed, what is going to be happening. But we realized that if we want to make the whole concept and strategy crystal clear, then we have to give that type of light tower, which you can see even through the stormiest weather. And that light tower is basically our main goal, is our main sentence. And this is the goal of maximizing the service providers on the platform. Okay, guys, so if you ever talk to friends or talk about the project or tell it to anyone, you know that this is the goal that we want. The more people we want aboard, the more service providers, the more users, the more utility, etc., okay? So
also just to add one comment.
Yes, feel free to interrupt me. And by the way,
just to add one simple comment to this is that this is the crucial fundamental step that most startups and companies just miss out, and they just start building stuff and churning stuff out. But creating the strategy that can be boiled down to one single sentence is what basically differentiates between or from the great, or between the okay and the great.
Yes, but honestly, this took us almost a year. So, and we're already past like $10 million of income and stuff like that. So these things have to add up by time.
Yeah.
Okay, Tungi, can we have the next slide, please? And about these slides, are these underneath the live so anybody can get it through a link?
Yes.
Right? Because that is very important, and we're going to share these on our socials so that you will be able to kind of run through these fast.
After this live, we're going to share the slides with you guys so you can see them.
Okay, so that was NXTT's main sentence. Just tell me a few sentences about Limitless, please, David.
Yeah.
Because Limitless is a new thing. Some of you have heard about it because Limitless already had the CoinDesk article. And I've seen that floating around the NXTT community because NXTT was also mentioned in it. But clearing out the whole picture and the strategy on how we're going to be doing business in the future, well, Limitless is going to be a crucial and an essential part in doing just that. So
yeah, so if you guys
sentences, please.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't read any of the articles about Limitless, Limitless is a metaverse integrator company, and what that means is that Limitless is as a service provider for integrating companies and onboarding companies onto the metaverse. And the way I like to put it is that there are hundreds and thousands of marketers, from startups to large Fortune 500 companies, that are literally salivating over the idea of getting in front of consumers within the metaverse. But when you go and start talking to consumers themselves, they have no bloody clue what the metaverse is. So how you will solve this metaverse dilemma is basically those brands, companies, and startups that are going to be able to create gateway experiences within the metaverse, creating products and services that are operating in the metaverse, leveraging the full capacity of the metaverse without the consumers even knowing that they are in the metaverse, are the companies that are going to win. And Limitless is the metaverse integrator company that is capable of creating such services and such products, and the metaverse that Limitless is onboarding these businesses to is the Next Earth metaverse.
Thank you very much. Let's jump to the next slide, please. And I would like to say a few sentences about the history of Limitless and how the whole Limitless and Next Earth team kind of got together.
Sorry, just a technical stop. We're getting a lot of comments that the sound is buzzy and it's not very good. So let's just stop for a second and do a quick sound check.
Yeah, and maybe put the ventilator like further back from the door if that's kind of problematic or not.
Yeah.
Is the sound
getting better?
Is the sound getting better, guys?
Yeah, give us feedback.
Okay, so as long as that is going on, I'm going to just talk about the history and how the whole Limitless holding kind of came to life. Is you guys all have seen in the team as a co-founder Mike, and Mike was the owner of Code Cluster when I met him, and we worked together already before the crypto space. Yeah, we've got the positive feedback regarding the sound. Cool. So that's good.
Thanks. You guys.
And when we met Mike, he kind of, we were able to go forward with the development because he had the skills and the team. Mm-hmm. And he did the development of the Next Earth IT infrastructure for a given for a given stake in the company. And while doing that, he also had the experience of working with startup companies, between 40 to 60 startup companies, and kind of getting through the legislative and every kind of stuff. So he was kind of all over the place with it, but very good structurally. And while doing Next Earth and seeing the whole crypto environment, he soon discovered that Limitless will be basically the next evolving, the next generation of Code Cluster that can basically become a global blockchain startup studio. And obviously, David was saying a metaverse integrator because from our perspective, from Next Earth's perspective, Limitless is a metaverse integrator, but Limitless itself was created to be a blockchain startup studio, a global one with a huge network, with a solution to every problem, and contacting service providers, with starting companies, funding, incubating, accelerating businesses. So everything that all of our service providers need.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's jump to the next one, please. Okay. So, we're back to our main sentence. Next Earth needs the maximum possible number of service providers. That's our light tower, guys. Very important. Maximizing the number of service providers. You can remember that around months ago, when we talked with David about our product development pipeline, we said that from one product team, we are scaling up to 7 parallelly running product teams,
And also,
which itself is amazing.
If you guys also read the article on our blog, you can actually like understand how exactly that happened, because we also published the blog article that literally said how we are scaling Next Earth.
Yes, and but still, we would still be the bottlenecks in the development of the platform. So what we came up with is basically an API suite.
Yes.
An API suite. Okay, I have to get used to that suite.
Fine.
Okay,
That's fine.
because through that, anybody, like an open source platform, anybody can connect to us and create their own businesses. May it be customers, landowners, crypto businesses, startups, or mainstream businesses, even the largest companies, who knows. And on the other side, Limitless has the force to become, with all of the stages of its operation and structure and its network, can become a metaverse integrator. So basically what NextEarth needs through its API, through its API, businesses, and what Limitless can deliver are businesses. And in the middle they meet. And let's go to the next slide, please. Because that way we are able to basically scale up our maximalization of onboarding service providers without NextEarth being the physical bottleneck.
Yeah.
Because we just have to do our own thing and develop the platform and leave the sales, the marketing, the networking, the business development, and all of these things to a blockchain startup, accelerator, and studio. That's perfect for me.
It's
easier.
practically the same thing what happened with Ethereum when they're like, hey guys, so we have a platform where you can create smart contracts. You can issue tokens, you can create smart contracts, and then whoever actually builds the companies with whoever builds the smart contracts and make businesses out of them is not Ethereum. It's the economy and the ecosystem surrounding it. And it's the exact same strategy that we are pursuing here.
So let's jump to the next slide and let's see the real deal here. Because to ensure the stability and the effectiveness of the partnership, we also arranged a strategic investment in Limitless worth $12.5 million. That is amazing. And in exchange, Limitless will create a large metaverse fund together with NextEarth, and David will be co-CEO. And
I'm just gonna take off my
his
shirt now.
Yeah, go and undress. And his mentor, David Praise, becoming chairman of Limitless to make sure that this partnership delivers the maximum and keeps its narrative and values.
So now I'm actually morphing from the white shirt into the Limitless guy with the Limitless t-shirt. Yes, so that was what am I? I'm your inside man.
Well, actually, based on some comments, you're my son.
You know what my response was that.
But actually,
that comment.
I know who's your real daddy.
You cannot choose your father, but you can choose your daddy. Okay, guys, so basically NextEarth has sort of installed me as the CEO, co-CEO of Limitless. So Mike and I will be making sure that together we are developing and delivering the brightest and the most amazing companies onto the NextEarth metaverse. And that's important because we will also be feeding a bunch of startups that are issuing their own tokens. So I can keep using my knowledge as a token architect and my deep understanding of the NextEarth economy to perform due diligence of what kind of businesses do we actually onboard. And my good friend and mentor David Praise has also accepted my invitation to join Limitless as our chairman. And I just want to say a couple things about David Praise, because I think the guy is an absolute madman. He has built 7 companies beyond $1 billion annual revenue, including Dell and Gateway in his past. And he is literally one of the most senior figures in the London venture capital scene, having been the former chairman of the Greater London Investment Fund. Some people say that practically like 3 out of 4 venture deals touch David Praise somehow.
How long has he been doing that?
Since 2008.
Holy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, once he accepted the position, actually, you know what? Why don't we try and give David a call? Like, there is a lot of things that I want to say. I want to bring David in. Let's try to give him a call.
Tungi.
Just give me 1 second.
Arrange, please. You can carry on in the meanwhile, I think.
Yeah, I
don't know how long that's gonna take.
Let me just see if this works. Okay.
Oh, it's gonna work.
See. Okay. Is it? Oh, hi.
Hi, David.
You wanna give an earplug?
Yeah.
to me
1
too?
second. Let me see if.
David, is that you?
Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, that's clever to do this in live.
I'm trying to connect to my.
That's a nice strategy. We don't do business like this.
No.
We just do lives like this.
We have to talk to David. Can you hear me now?
I know.
David, hello.
Brilliant. Let me just give it to you.
Yeah, give me a phone.
Put it into your right ear.
Yeah,
Hello?
I can hear.
Hi, David. So,
Hi, guys.
I have a surprise for you. Thanks for answering the phone. We're actually live on YouTube in front of the Next Earth community.
Okay. Right. Hello. Hello all. Sorry.
So we just announced.
Nice of you. Yep. Thanks for the surprise. Yep.
That's fine. Like, your hair looks good as always. Listen.
Yeah. Right.
We just announced your acceptance of the position of chairman of Limitless, and I started sort of building you up in front of our community, but I was like, why don't we actually give David a call and let him introduce himself?
Okay. Well, you've probably overdone it. I mean, I'm just a normal
guy.
200
people watching. Don't worry.
Right. Okay. I'm just a normal guy living on the west side of London. As I often say to people, I'm just an unemployed bum, which is partially true, although I somehow stay very busy. My most recent work, I guess, that people know me for, is I've been doing a bunch of social impact work around the world, predominantly working in Palestine and in Israel, trying to get some things going there with an ecosystem. But more historically, I've been very involved in creating the London startup ecosystem, and prior to that, both Dell and Gateway Computers. So I've been working in this industry for many, many years. Was involved in some blockchain startups. A few of them actually raised a bunch of money for them. Really, it's quite a pleasure to see an ecosystem like Next Earth come alive, and really start to see it looking towards getting a lot of other people involved from an open systems perspective, and driving a lot of functionality out of the system through the use of outside organizations. So I'll be happy to be keeping an eye on it and working with people and seeing how I can add value.
Brilliant. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much.
And I just have one question, because a lot of people here in this community are very keen to sort of understand where the metaverse is going, where Next Earth is going. Like, based on your experience as being probably the most senior person on this live and in this community regarding knowledge and experience, where do you think we're going? Like, what's the direction? What's the end game? Because I think people will want to hear your opinion. So let's just get out of the way real quick.
Well, I think that, as I often say to people, trying to define the end game this early on is quite a difficult thing to do. What I would say is I think there's a very clear demand out there, and we are going to see some phenomenal growth, and we're going to see a vibrant selection of metaverses appearing as time goes on, and really staying in the forefront is going to be most critical. So an early launch and keeping ahead is going to be really, really important. And also getting a lot of your user stroke developers to buy in and utilize the system will also be critical. But where do we end up with? Well, I think we'll end up with a multiple metaverse equivalents. Let's put it this way, to the moon and back isn't really appropriate for this, because I think we're talking parallel universes. And where we end up is going to be really very interesting as we start to see the real world and the virtual worlds collide and intertwine in ways that I don't think many have considered as yet.
Awesome, David.
Wow.
Thank you so much for picking up the phone and well, not hanging up on me after.
Thanks for the surprise.
Yeah, just very thanks for not hanging up on me.
Don't worry, my friends. You guys look
Appreciate
out.
it.
Gabor, you too. Miss you all. Hey.
Yeah.
See you very soon.
Very cool to
See you
have you
very
on
soon.
board, David. Very cool.
Big kisses
Lovely.
to the family. Cheers. Cheers.
See you very
Cheers.
soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
For everyone.
Okay.
Awesome. So that was
Okay.
David.
Okay, that's awesome.
That was David.
Okay,
So yeah,
I remember when he first flew here to Budapest. I talked with him for 6 consecutive hours, and like nonstop. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I've
It's
been
just amazing.
doing that with him for like 7 years now. I usually keep telling people that everything that I know about business I learned from him. And when I moved to London 7 years ago, that was probably literally the one moment that he became my mentor, that kind of established the rest of my career, that led to this very moment here. So
And he's so humble. And I think that
Yeah.
is a very good narrative for the crypto space, and he's going to be perfectly fitting into this, because just as in today's conference when we were keynote speakers, I mean, one of the most important value is to be able to give this type of narrative to the new generation of entrepreneurs. Because if you take social impact, environmental charity, and all of these, and interoperability, so not just competition, but how you can join partnerships and have that positive narrative, if that becomes cool, then that is a goal reached, because that means that the next
Exactly.
generation will be able to give a different kind of value to creating business. And creating value won't be just creating the hard cash, the money, because obviously if you're in crypto, you're in the very beginning. I don't really think that there is going to be any kind of financial problems in the future, especially when people realize that it's not the physical boundaries anymore, but the digital economy can be basically scaled to infinity. So from that on, I think that's going to be a big game changer in the world. So having somebody experienced in both of these, and still being humble, and with the network, and then the person as he is,
this is the kind of competitive
great.
advantage
Yeah, I
over
love it.
not the
I love
market,
it.
over
I love it.
uncertainty and ambiguity
Really cool.
that we really needed. So I'm all for humility, but I also know that everybody is really looking forward to seeing tangible results. So
yeah.
once David accepted the position, once I also was asked to join Limitless as co-CEO, we immediately started to get to work, and that was 3 steps. That's all it takes. So let me show you what the plan is for making things happen within the Next Earth Metaverse, maximizing the number of service providers. First, we're going to put together the largest Metaverse fund to fund and support new service providers within the Next Earth Metaverse. So we're launching a $260 million Metaverse fund.
$260 million.
Dedicated to growing the Next Earth ecosystem. Now, this will be a mix of classical venture funding from institutional investors, so we can leverage their networks, we can leverage the reach that they have, also the press and the mainstream adoption that it will bring, and also a mix of a DAO-governed quadratic funding-based NXTT fund to realize Next Earth's original vision of using our token supply to grow the ecosystem. A $200 million NXTT fund is basically right now about 25% of the total token supply that will go directly towards making sure
Yeah, but I have to admit, I really, really hope that when this time comes, it won't be more than 5%.
If that happens, we're doing good.
And definitely we will be guarding the valuation of NXTT, so you don't have to worry that it's going to be like kind of dumped on the market because we want to finance the whole utility from this. But we are making sure through the first $60 million fund that valuable businesses come in that give utility to NXTT, and basically it's going to be working as, I know you don't like this term, but understand it as a Gabor kind of term, like afterward financing.
Yeah, they call it follow-on financing.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like that, but the effect on NXTT, I want it to be structured that way, also because that way everybody wins, and crypto is the space where everybody can win.
And
so
we have to make it very clear, the reason why the NXTT fund will be DAO governed and based on quadratic funding principles, I'm happy to go in and explain what that means.
Not today.
It's very mathematical, but the point is that from this fund, any company will only get any funding once they undoubtedly prove that they will make good use of NXTT that will actually add more utility to the token, add more utility to the land, and end up creating more value than what we give out to them.
And guys, don't forget that this is the funding that is coming through and is going to be distributed and used with the help of Limitless. But don't forget that we have our own launchpad on Next Earth, which means that around between, I can say these numbers, between $50,000 to $500,000 per launchpad project is what is an average estimate that we probably are going to be raising with community funding. So we're going to have this 260 million pre-funding or accelerator fund or whatever we want to structure it the way. It can be driven towards community members who want to do their own businesses and utility on Next Earth. It can be to crypto companies who want to be doing integrator, or startup companies, startup crypto or mainstream companies, or large mainstream giants who we want to kind of bring in to integrate with this ecosystem.
The thing is that once you launch a fund, which is currently, this is the largest metaverse fund on the planet. And once you have a fund like this, you can practically go in and start supporting any kind of businesses, from startups, from pre-seed idea stage, seed stage, growth stage, and big mainstream businesses. And you can even start working on integrating Fortune 500 companies. But this is just step one. So I have still two more steps.
All right, I could be talking about this for an hour, but yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm just gonna let it go and leave it to you.
Step number 2. We've already started creating strategic partnerships as Limitless in the background, and we have created a network. This is live contract, okay? So we have a live contract with over 700 venture capital firms and over 1,200 startup companies within our network. And each and every one of them is a potential service provider to Next Earth.
That's still like an unbelievable number for me. So I'm kind of just getting used to it. But this is a feeling that has gotten me all over from the first day. But these are next steps. These are the things that we truly weren't expecting like last August. Yeah. This is the crypto way.
And this is the limitless way, because the numbers that we're bringing are limitless. So basically, we already have the deal flow, right? We have the pool that will actually create as many service providers in the Next Earth metaverse as possible. And this is literally just the beginning, because we do not want to stop at 1,200 companies.
Inside, outside development, API suite, anybody can be coming, accelerator partner, metaverse integrator. Yeah, these things are adding up together. I would really love to see how this info gets to gets to the community members. If you listen to this live afterwards and also look at the slideshow next to it, I'm very keen to see if this goes through now, because this is the one that is the most clearly told so far.
Yeah, I think we will be talking
kind of
about
put
this
together
for a
with
long
this.
time.
I'm pretty sure there are going to be plenty of questions regarding details.
Of course.
But you know, this is what we've been waiting for, like to be able to onboard the Limitless, to finalize the Limitless deal. That was very important to add to it.
Yeah.
To bring it on, to unreveal it, to reveal it, and then from this on, carry on with step 3 or.
Okay, so step 1 was just to sum it up. Step 1 was creating the largest metaverse fund on the planet, and most of it is going to be governed by a DAO following the principles of quadratic funding, which means that the community gets to decide what happens with the fund. The community gets to decide what happens with NXTT. Step number 2 was to create a network of over 1,200 companies, 1,200 companies that are already within our network, potential service providers on Next Earth.
And 700 VCs.
And 700 venture capital firms that can also provide follow-on funding and growth stage capital to these companies if they want to grow beyond the $260 million fund. Now, there is step 3, which is a fund is great and startups are great. But what about established companies? What about Fortune 500 companies? So step 3 was that as the Limitless team, we sat down and said, let's start bringing established companies onto the Next Earth metaverse. And I know that you are all pretty eager to see these developments. So I'm just going to let these developments sink in. And I'm going to let you know that we will come back about that specific step 3 and who that is next week.
Next week. Yep. Definitely have to watch next week's announcement because there is going to be
there's going to be
an
some
amazing
name
company.
Dropping.
Yep.
There's going to be some name dropping.
Finally big name dropping.
And you don't see this coming. I can tell you that.
Yeah, we didn't see it coming. Limitless saw it coming, but yes. Actually, Limitless put in a large chunk of work and energy and effort behind all of this. So finalizing this with a strategic investment and making personal guarantees in the stability of this and the future of this partnership, I think that is something that is so much more worthy than what anybody thinks right now at this moment, even maybe considering us.
Yeah.
So that's just amazing. Anything else? Or now?
I think you wanted to say something.
Well, I think I'm going to jump to my favorite topic right now.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we're through with the Limitless, Next Earth. People can digest it. They can ask. Based on what they are asking, we're going to create our material in a better way, in a more understandable way. We are going... this is going to be easy because right now we don't have to not hide, but we can talk about finally the things.
We can talk about
That's going to be so easy because from now on we can brainstorm, we can talk about things. So been waiting for this for so much. Of course, next week is going to be amazing too, but it is going... It took us... It took off a huge weight from my and from your and basically the team's shoulder that we can start talking about it and being more open about the whole thing.
Yeah.
But now, many of you asked, when token burn? Now. Token burn now.
Now.
So let's do it.
Now.
Let's do it. Attila,
Let's do it.
Please bring it on.
Let's do it now. Let's burn those tokens. Burn, baby, burn.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Okay, can we just keep
That's not
talking for
that's
3
not
minutes?
an answer from an IT guy. What's 3 minutes? Come back here.
When a token burn? In 3 minutes.
In 3 minutes. Okay, so we have to kind of make up some topics until that 3 minutes is gonna.
In the meantime.
Okay, I don't want to go back to what we have talked about because I think that's finalized. That's cool. And not about the meta players partnership, although I really see 5 or 6 unicorns, launchpad unicorns growing from that partnership in the upcoming 2 to 3 years. The guys are just
and it's also
amazing.
they're going through the sort of limitless incubation process right now, so we make sure that their added value to the Next Earth metaverse is going to be maximized as a service provider.
and esport is really the future. But yeah, let's not dig into that too much. I remember some questions. One of them was the circulating supply, and again, in the white paper, it is written down now, so it's crystal clear. Tungi, why is that frozen? Is the live frozen, or is just that monitor? Just the camera. Okay, so I don't even have to follow this because we've just got the feedback that the token burning is going. But just to close this thing,
Boom, 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 boom.
the vesting and the unvested tokens are differently handled. They are not sold on the market. There are like 20 billion tokens which are unvested already, which is insane because we do not need the cash. We are financed well. So the reason why NXTT is only 50% from the all-time high, and Dome and Meta Hero and Blocktopia and all the other metaverse startup projects are 90 to 92 or 95% from their all-time highs, is because they are financing themselves from the tokens.
Yeah.
And we are not. Obviously, we will be at one point, but we want to do it in a way that it's only going to start when we have utility and we are not hurting the price, because we want to save and we want to make sure that your involvement in Next Earth is safeguarded by us. So you don't have to worry about those things. Obviously, we're going to be figuring out how that can be communicated in a better way or betterly structured, but there is a reason why the wallets are like this. And another thing, I think we are also gonna reschedule the vesting for a much longer period, because we simply don't need the tokens for financing. And the large taxes that we are talking with, they wanna dig their noses into how we do the vesting. So basically we're totally open for that, and some changes will be occurring, but I think that's nothing major, because so far, just look at the structure, it's working nicely.
Yeah,
we're doing totally fine. I'm totally satisfied with everything that is going on right now regarding Next Earth, Limitless, and everything. It's just amazing. And family. So it's
exactly.
Cool. Okay. Attila,
I'm just doing the sound.
When token burn. Are we ready?
Can you hear the tokens burning?
Okay,
It's already done.
It's already done. We don't have the countdown. Where is the countdown?
They're gone. They don't
The
exist
countdown
anymore.
is gone. Oh my God, Attila, you.
It's the final countdown.
Okay, so guys, we have just destroyed how much? Let's see. 1,675,691,642 NXTTs are destroyed forever.
Gone.
They are gone.
Obliterated from existence.
From existence. Okay, so this is how it feels to destroy. How much dollars is that?
8 figures. 8 figures.
I don't know. What's the price? 001 in dollars. 1 billion. That's $100 million. No, that can't be. Oh no, it's almost that much. Oh my God! Somebody from the community help us. Okay, I'm gonna bring on the calculator because that's gonna help a lot.
Hangover mathematics.
Guys, close your eyes while we
hangover mathematics.
Yeah, hangover. Oh my God, I'm so bad. Hangover.
0.01.
I forgot to order my lunch.
Multiply that with 0.01.
001, like this.
Yeah.
Not 00. It's okay. So $16.7 million are evaporated from the market. Yeah, that's cool. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So that was quick.
Yeah, that was quick. Anything else? No.
What else do you need?
Okay. Thank you guys for being with us. Bye.